Project Hail Mary just released in IMAX and in theaters this past weekend. And one of my buddies asked me, hey, Ryder, should I watch this film in IMAX or regular screen? And that had my mind going. And I wanted to talk to you guys. Does this film need to be seen in a large screen format? Do films get enhanced by a different type of screen that you see it in? I feel like there's something to get into with this.
Let me swing this from the bat here. I don't believe that every movie is better, in quotes, with an IMAX screen. I think, I like seeing a movie on a bigger screen. IMAX has better speakers, and it's usually like a better experience. So just going into an IMAX, yeah, you might have better experience than like a regular theater. But when people talk about IMAX, not every movie is shot for IMAX, filmed for IMAX, or, they have all this different terminology about how that really looks. Project Hail Mary is shot for IMAX, meaning that there are sequences shot in that aspect ratio to take advantage of an IMAX screen. Therefore, I do think it is very worth it to see this on the largest screen possible.
It's true. That's true.
I have some thoughts about this. So I think it's kind of like, if you're even asking the question, I think you should go see it in some sort of specialty theater.
Yeah,
I feel like that's always the gold standard but I think where you really get into the discussion here is waiting, right? Because especially we live in Los Angeles and New York, two areas in which films are in high demand.
Yeah.
Getting to see a film on opening weekend, in a way, you have to reserve tickets in advance if you want to see it in IMAX or even Dolby, or even I don't know if you guys know about this one. What y'all know about Prime?
You've been telling me about Prime. They're putting a Prime theater in my local location.
What's Prime?
They got AMC Prime. I kind of don't know what it is, even still, but I think
they put a base under your seat, so that every seat has a base under.
Oh yeah,
You're
that is what
shaking?
it is.
Just
That's
feeling
it.
the vibration.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. But back to my point is, you have to kind of decide whether you want to be in on the conversation that opening weekend, or you wait and you're like, oh, well, I really want to see an IMAX. But sometimes for me, I feel like it means more to me to see a film opening weekend. And I think I'm willing to sacrifice seeing it on a biggest, best screen to see it opening weekend. And I saw this movie in laser, and I thought, like, literally just the standard AMC like theater where kind of I think most people are going to see this movie.
Yeah.
And I thought it was still gorgeous. It still sounded great. Like, nothing to complain about. I think most people, they make a whole thing about, oh, I only go see a Dolby. And I'm like, you probably can hear a difference, but it's not like I'm having a direct comparison. Like, this is the only, I think the only experience, unless I rewatch it, that I'm going to have with this movie.
There's another little piece here too, is like, you can go to a nice theater that has great regular projection screens, and you can go to a theater that's not so great and have a pretty bad experience at like a regular projection screen. So like, I think you'll know where that movie is going to play the best, and you can make your decision off that. Now, another thing here is that it did get an IMAX 70mm release. Ooh. I did not see that. I did see it in IMAX. I'm kind of bummed I didn't see 70mm because it looked insane. We'll talk about this a little later, but they did shoot this digitally, and then it's called film out is the process, where they then print the digital thing onto film and then edit it like that so that it still has that like characteristics of film. Mm-hmm. That's really interesting stuff. So I would say you're looking at a space sci-fi movie. Try to go see it in the biggest screen possible. You won't regret it.
Yeah, and I was also going to say about like the necessity of the film on like if a movie almost changes based on the type of screen that you see it in, because for me audio is a big thing, and I feel like it could be the smallest screen possible, but if audio is not loud and kind of it literally washes over you sometimes when the audio is so loud that you feel like you're in it. But if you have a large screen and the audio's not there, it kind of takes me out of it. And so I would recommend,
I agree,
for a film like this, audio is something that you want to look for. And I think for any big event film, I would always take Dolby over an IMAX. So maybe that's something to consider for bigger films. And
I'm going to throw a last little thing out there, and that is seats. Like,
Yeah.
it's something that I
Yeah.
think some people, especially in the film community, the cinephile community, they don't really care about seats. It's kind of seemed as more of like a casual thing to care about seats. But let me tell you, when I am sitting down for a goddamn near 3 hour
It's a long one.
movie,
This is a long one.
this is a long movie. If I'm sitting there for 236, 240, 250 with previews, like my ass is gonna hurt. If it's just the standard fold out chairs, my ass sometimes hurts. I am sitting in that theater just waiting
Squeezing
for it
cheeks.
to end. Squeezing
Yeah.
cheeks. It's a rough time, and it's pulling me out of the movie in the same way bad audio or bad visuals can do the same. So I think that's a big thing too. What about, do you guys have a preference? Like, what's your preferred seat? I think I like the recliners. I'm too accustomed to the recliner. Also like the kind of the half recliner where it's like it's the black seat and it's still like fully upright. It's not like super plush, but
I see what you're talking about.
but you
got
can
something-
still extend over the legs.
Look, y'all know my favorite theater is the TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood Boulevard. Now, the great thing about
Not
this,
known for their seats.
not known
Not
for
known
their
for their
seats. I'm gonna
seats.
say their seats recline, but they're so loose. They got like they're so flaccid, dude. Like
Yeah.
you go in them and you're like, you have to have a core strength to sit in those seats because if you let go of yourself for 2 seconds, you're instantly falling back into a bed and you're like, oh god, this hurts. And there's no leg room
That's good.
behind that. You're always being hit too. You're always
They
being hit
gotta
by
have
somebody
the
walking.
money to fix those seats.
Yeah,
I know.
They're so loose. It's rough.
It's like
but-
the theater. The theater.
Right,
Yeah,
it's literally
I know.
the theater.
so
That's
I don't
crazy.
know. Don't like those.
Mine's less about the seats, but I like to put my feet up on the handicap bars.
Yes.
That's like the key. So
Those
like,
are the
if I get
coveted
that-
seats.
Yeah, those are
That's
good.
my
Yeah.
very,
you
very
have to
favorite.
like fight to get those seats because those are the first to
Yeah.
go.
They are the first to go, and it's me sitting in F8, F9, or E8, E9 at
Every
my
single
favorite
time.
theaters. Favorite.
Well, I'll tell you what screen size doesn't matter. Whatever screen you decide to watch our podcast on.
That was wonderful, James.
That was
Thank
so
you
good.
so much. Guys, if you're not already familiar, guys, gals, and bees, everyone in between, welcome back to Strictly Casual. It's been a while.
It has
Can-
been
can
way
I just
too
say
long,
that?
guys.
It's been a while.
Yeah, you can say that. You can say
You
that.
can say it's been a while. If you
been a
don't
while.
know us by name, I'm James. We got Ryder. We got Vincent. We're here to talk to you about movies. We're here to talk to you about games. We're here to talk to you about the shit we care about because we believe that stories have something to them. That when we sink our teeth into them and we gather and we talk about it, we have a shared experience and we get closer. We have just a good time and it brings us together in a positive way. And that's what we're all about here at Strictly Casual. So,
Get it,
guys,
James. Yeah, preach to him a little bit, Mike.
so come on in, join the conversation. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Join our Discord because we want you a part of the community and we want you a part of the conversation. Vincent, kick us off.
Today, we are talking about the sci-fi epic written by Andy Weir, Project Hail Mary, okay? Written and directed by Lord and Miller. Our Lord and Millers.
Our Lord and Millers.
Project Hail Mary follows Ryland Grace, a middle school teacher who wakes up alone on a spacecraft with no memory of who he is or how he got there. As his memories slowly return, he realizes he's humanity's last hope on a desperate mission to save Earth from a mysterious cosmic phenomenon. With time running out, Grace must rely on science, ingenuity, and an unexpected ally to complete a mission that could determine the fate of the entire planet. Wowza. What a little blurb there for this movie. Before jumping into our overall thoughts on this film, what did you guys think going into this movie? Do you have any prior experience with the book? Were you just excited for the movie? Were you just there for Ryan Gosling? What did you guys think?
I went in blind. This was one of those that as soon as marketing started, that was the first time I heard about the film, heard about the book, and I was
wow.
ready. It's one of those movies where you think, oh, you have no expectations. You kind of have, almost a reservation. You think, oh, is this going to be good? I mean, I love Ryan Gosling, so I don't doubt him, but I do think, science fiction, I always have the comparison to Interstellar. I'm always like, is it going to be good? Is it going to be one of those where it's like, it's never going to meet, and I know that that's wrong to do, but still I had this like reservations in my head, and I was pleasantly surprised by seeing it. But yeah, I knew nothing, and then I slowly heard some stuff about you guys reading the book. Maybe it was just Vince talking about the Audible book, and just Vince about the Audible book, and I was like, it started hitting my feed, learning more about it, that this is like a really good story. And then I learned that it's from the same author as Martian, and so I was like, okay, well, I mean, that was a great film, and so
yeah,
that's all I got for that.
Yeah,
James, what about you?
Yeah, I knew about the book for so long. I had no idea what it was about. I knew it was some sort of like space sci-fi story that I think I kind of even knew. I don't even know if it's like, I wouldn't say it's similar to Interstellar, but I got a general Interstellar vibe from it, like just the aura around the book and everything. When it's talked about in circles, I'm like, okay, like I kind of have an idea. When I watched the film, I was like, oh, I really did not know what this was going to be.
Sure.
And it really blew away my expectations that way. But yeah, never read it. Always kind of heard about it as, oh, it's really good, you should read it. And to hear Vincent, hear you talk about, and we'll talk about this later on more, but like hear you talk about how good of an adaptation it is.
Yeah.
Even though they do make a few decisions that are different, which I actually don't know. I remember you saying that they did in your Letterboxd review. But
I'm kind of excited to talk about that. Like, I'm
okay.
very excited when we get there.
Okay, yeah. And I'm excited
because
to
they're not all
hear...
weaknesses.
Okay.
Like, it's not all strengths and weaknesses. It's
cool.
It's a little bit of both. They both do great things.
And I like that. I think that's really unique for a book adaptation, or a film adaptation of a book, more rather. So yeah, no experience with it prior, and I was really excited to just jump into it, knowing that it was a faithful adaptation.
I want to say something real quick because James was popping off with that intro, and it got me thinking about a moment that I had in this film that I think, it's kind of like I want to shoot out a reminder to everybody. So there's a scene in the film that I'm not gonna, we'll talk about it. But I looked over, it was an emotional scene. So I only do this when I remember, when I'm conscious in the moment. But I wanted to look over in the aisles because it was my second viewing. And I looked over and I could see every single person in my row, a tear on their face. And I remember seeing the glistening on their face from the screen. Good. And I was like, how cool is that? That every single person, guy, girl, in different ages too, that they had an emotional reaction to what just happened. And I was just like, dang, this is like, it's... When you hear the movie going experience is special, but then when you're like, oh wait, let me actually, oh yeah, this is special. And I had that for this film, and I was like, that's good. If you guys shouldn't do, I recommend doing that every once in a while. Take a look at your audience and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that's something special about movies in general too. I read this book, and the book was very impactful for me. But the times that my memory of reading the book, which not that long ago, probably like 6 months ago, I read it. The parts that are sad in the movie do come across as sad or emotional, but when I see them visually, it elicits this extra emotion out of me. I think that's why I like movies. I like the visual medium so much. That's not to say books are any lesser than a movie. I'm just telling, that's like my...
You're a big reader, just like so the audience knows. Like, you read a lot of books.
Yeah.
I do like to read, but I love movies. I love the way that movies, like the music comes together. I always try to visualize the book when I'm doing it. So when I'm reading it, that's like, so seeing it on film was so incredible. I guess I did read the book. I had a lot of expectations going in, but I was trying so hard not to have these sky high, unreachable expectations of of any sort of adaptation. But I was so happily surprised, to be honest, guys. I think it really nailed the heart of the story, regardless of if some things I preferred in the book. I think that this did such an incredible job capturing just really the themes of the story. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm tempted to listen to the audiobook now. I mean, I want to give it a read, or people always recommend the audiobook. So I think that's next, right?
Yeah, I mean, going into full spoilers here, just to let everybody know, like, we're going to be talking about this entire movie top to bottom. One of the reasons I recommend the audiobook over the regular book is Rocky's speech. So in the book, it starts with music notes. That's kind of how he talks.
What?
And then slowly, as Ryland Grace gets to like know Rocky, his voice, which is like the computer, it's the computer program that's talking, that becomes more and more clear and overlaid over Rocky's voice throughout the chapters as Ryland starts to understand him more.
That's
And it's a
cool.
very cool experience as like a listener.
Cool.
So that's why I recommend that. I'm not sure how they do it in the book.
That's
is
really-
it just like black bars that they
That's
show
really
Rocky
interesting.
saying?
Like that is a thing unique to the audiobook. You don't hear a lot often about how audiobook experiences like kind of add a layer.
It won an
onto it.
award for it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like a great audiobook. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I wonder if it's like if there are bits of text in an alien language that like, it kind of looks like a real word, but like it isn't the full thing, and then throughout the book it becomes more directly translated, I guess.
Yeah.
I wonder. I have no idea. That's just merely speculation.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Can we talk about Rocky? I just want to. I'm so excited to talk about Rocky. Do we want? Can we?
Can we? Are we?
I
Wait.
know-
Wait,
I know
should
we
we do
always
top
have-
level thoughts of like because we haven't even given our opinion.
Oh, okay.
I
I
the
gave
film
my
as a whole,
opinion.
I get
so
You
excited about
go.
Rocky.
You go.
Okay.
Yeah, you
I
go.
gave mine.
Okay. I really enjoyed this movie. I going into this conversation, I think I told Vin and I told Ryder, I said, guys, I don't know like how much like I have to really like dig into here, like rip apart. And I think a part of that is because I think Project Hail Mary is such an experience. It feels like you're really on like a roller coaster and you're really like the immersion factor is so high in this film.
Yeah.
Like I'm really just in it, rolling with the jokes, rolling with the humor. Even though like some of the writing, I think I don't know if the book is like this as well, but like I think some of the writing is sort of Disney-fied a little bit. I think it's a lot of just Ryan Gosling being Ryan Gosling. But
Yeah.
knowing like especially how much of this film is like improv and improvised, I'm like it is a lot of Ryan Gosling. But like even like I'm just in it. Like the visuals are great. The fucking score is just
It's a great
awesome.
score.
Yeah.
And it
Pemberton.
all just and
Same
it
guy
all
who did
just
Spider-Verse.
coalesces. No way.
Yeah.
Wait,
Mhm.
that's incredible. It all just coalesces into this experience that's it's you laugh, you cry, you do like you really experience like the full range of emotions, and it's hard not to get swept up in it. And I think that's the biggest compliment I can give this film. And I'm excited to dig into the like what is underneath the surface here in this conversation, because I still don't even think I'm at that level of processing, because it's so much of that. I just think about that raw emotional experience going through the film.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I definitely felt a full gamut of emotions watching this film, because there's moments of fear and sadness, but there's such great humor in this that I feel like we haven't felt in a while, of both like, experiencing friendships. This movie did a really great job at showing the joys of friendship that I was like, oh man, I was so pleasantly surprised, because I'd never seen, I went into this completely blind. And so you could not expect a story about friendship to be so highlighted in a movie like this. You think space film, you may have an idea of, complete the mission, or maybe, the film focuses on one aspect, but to have it so story driven, I think was what surprised me. And I think it was great to experience.
I think a reason it's so refreshing is like you guys both brought up Interstellar at the beginning of this movie. This movie, the only thing it has in common to me with Interstellar is like it's in space and they have to save the world, I guess. But Interstellar, like that's like kind of a side plot. It's more like the people on the ship and his daughter and stuff like that. This is so different in that the focus is, the themes are different, everything is different. It's just also sci-fi. So I think that's wonderful that you guys went into this being like thinking about the great science fiction space movies that you guys are thinking about, trying to make some sort of in your head comparison about it, and then coming out with a very fresh, unique story out of that. That's really cool. That's
Definitely.
really, really cool.
Because it's hard, like, there's no really big, in terms of, like, highbrow cinema, like, there's not a lot of space sci-fi, right? Because you kind of have your Interstellar, and you have, like, there's, like, a big jump from that to, like, something like Gravity, you know, or you have all your Apollo movies,
got, like,
which are all, like,
2001,
Right,
Solaris.
2001 is big. Like,
Yeah,
2001
you
is
have some like
the one.
big tent poles, but you're right in that it's not every 10 years we get like an all-timer sci-fi movie. It's
No.
like maybe every 20.
People liked
Yeah.
The Martian, but even then, that's different.
Yeah, not a tent pole, I would say.
Yeah.
No,
Agreed.
absolutely not. And I mean, the question, like, we should come back to it. You know, is this movie a sci-fi temple?
Wow, we should come back to that then.
We'll come back to that.
And
Brad, you said you wanted to talk about Rocky.
Yeah, so again,
Is that where you want to start?
Like this, yeah, I want to start with Rocky because the surprise for me was I mean, even in the marketing, I don't think that they really showed
They did.
much. They did? Maybe
They showed
that,
Rocky in the trailers.
then it might have been me just staying away from those. I think I just saw him and I thought of an alien and I was like, I don't know, maybe I was just switched off when I was watching those trailers. But I feel like in my memory right now, I have no memory of him before I saw his film. So I go in and you know, you think of you have so many ideas in your head of what you think this alien encounter is going to be. Is it scary? It starts off maybe, you know, as a horror type for a beat for maybe 5 minutes, and then immediately is thrown out the door when their relationship blossoms and how they're interacting. You learn that this alien has a sense of humor, has a personality, and is, I mean, they set it up to where this guy is more human and more intelligent than Rylan initially thinks. And I think that's what immediately sets it like, no, this is not an alien like we've seen before. This is a combination of maybe, I compared it to Lilo and Stitch. This felt like Stitch meets E.T., but with a high sense of humor and a high level of intelligence. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm like beating around the bush because I don't know how deep we want to get into it. But the thing that I love most about Rocky was him in the ball. I lost it of him in the ball saying, "Hey, what's up? I come up," and he was just like, "Oh, this is gross. This is dirty." And it's the voice actor with the lines and the dialogue and the physicality of him in the ship moving all sporadically that just killed me. I was dying laughing at this, and that's always something that I laugh at. It's just physicality of little creatures moving around all like fast pace or like pitter pattering as a spider. Oh, I ate that up, and
then, you know it's a puppet, right?
Which is great.
Yeah,
that's
it's
wild.
crazy
I
that
need to
it's a
see more
puppet.
BTS on how they did that.
There's not a lot out, so I tried to look at some with Regine recently, and so there's like one or two like really short BTS videos, but it's a puppet, and there's
crazy.
basically these dudes. It's like all like
It's
post
like two guys.
It's two guys, and they have just like sticks, and they kind of just like move them around, and they're in black, and like all of the work is in post processing of the artists taking them out of the frame, which is like he's so mobile. Like he is moving and zipping around.
Yeah.
It's so hard for me to like fathom how
It's
that
like when they
works.
do the 0G stuff and they have Ryan Gosling in like this full harness, waist thing, and it moves him around as if he like doesn't really have control. I'm like, how the hell do you roto that out? Like that is so insane
I'm thinking
to
the
me.
exact same thing because he's in there when he was putting on the astronaut suit. He's in there and he's like holding his neck to the thing.
Oh, when he was holding
it's
his
a full
neck
body
to-
shot.
Oh, so
And I'm
cool.
like, he's swinging around and it looks so real. I mean, it is, but you know what I mean. It looks like he's really free moving in there.
Okay, there's 2 points here that you brought up, Ryder, that I want to dive into a little bit. James, you brought this up before the podcast about talking about, is Rocky a spoiler?
Yeah. I think low key, yeah. I think Rocky is subversive. You know,
That they should
and
have saved him.
No. Well, not. I just mean like in terms of we have no sort of idea that an alien is going to be in the film aside from the trailer. Like there's no sort of like tee up for an alien or like no foreshadowing. He just gets out there to Tau Ceti, which the first time I saw it, I said, "Oh, marathon." Same
Yeah, I
planet
know.
as you.
Marathon
No
and
way.
Project Hail Mary this week, and something else
you
too.
serious?
There was
Oh,
like
really?
a weird another third
With the
thing.
planet
That's crazy.
Talseti? That's crazy.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Tau Ceti is like the nearest galaxy. So
Oh,
the
it's real.
planet
Okay,
that they
okay.
go to is Tau Ceti E, or
Yeah.
Adrian, what they call
Yeah.
it in the movie
Okay.
later.
But there's like no expectation, no foreshadowing. So he gets out there and he finds this what we come to find out is a ship, and it's like, whoa, what do we do with this? And I was watching. I knew Rocky was going to be in the film, but it was really fun to watch Regine, who had no idea.
That's
Rocky-
awesome.
And so she was like horror, kind of like scared. She's like,
Yeah,
oh, like
yeah.
what's going on? Whereas like I am laughing because I think there's so much humor in that
Yeah.
first sequence of like he goes forward and then Rocky kind of moves forward and then they're kind of doing this, dance of
ships, yeah.
trying to figure things out.
That kind of perfectly brings me to where I wanted to jump in about the book. This is one aspect of the book that I really preferred in the book.
Sure.
They kind of mention it a little bit on Grace's screen. It's blip A, and that's what he calls the ship. It is blip A for 3 chapters. It is a page turner. It's like
Wow.
so scary, having no idea that Rocky's a character in this. Another ship is out there.
Whoa.
It is haunting a little bit, and the way that he's like thinking about it, of he doesn't know why he's up there at this point in space. He's about to encounter something that he can't even fathom. He doesn't even know it's a ship until like a chapter in of trying to figure out what this is. And when Rocky, he throws the little thing at the ship, like it terrifies him to hear those sounds of things like bouncing off a ship. Like
That's cool.
really, it's written so well.
Yeah.
And I felt like they went into comedy too fast to get to Rocky, because it is such a breath. It's like, oh my God, a weight off your shoulders when it's Rocky later. And it's like, oh my God, it's like a friend. It's kind of silly. Like you don't really know what this is yet. But I think I liked how scary it is for Ryland in the book.
Makes
Now
sense.
they do it for a sec, and you can't have everything from the book in the movie. You just can't. You can't do it. But
It's
so I
already
think
a
they did
long-
it fine.
I also think they were
It's so
competing with the
long.
runtime, that like it's
Well, they
already
added
such a
scenes.
long.
They added scenes. Oh boy.
They added
Yes.
one scene at the end that we'll talk about.
Oh, that okay.
But-
Okay.
I agree. I think that is a very special experience if you go in not knowing that Rocky's in the movie, and then Rocky showing up and doing his thing. I think that's such a magical thing about this story. But I think that's not maybe the most popular opinion. Ryan Gosling is like, no, Rocky's the heart of the story. Like he's not a spoiler. People asked him about that too. And I think it just kind of depends on who you talk to. I like the surprise, I guess. I don't like to know everything about a story before going in. And
Yeah.
that's a good surprise factor to me.
Okay, can I talk about how the format of this story is played out in the form of like going back and forth? Because again, like the surprise of Rocky, this was one of those films that I hadn't seen a story being told in this way, and I heard from the grapevine, i.e. Vincent, that's exactly how it is in the book, and it goes back and forth, right? Like that's the format, right? It goes from
Yeah, I mean, when I tell you that this is a pretty incredible adaptation, it is pretty spot on. It's kind of when he makes a realization in space, it immediately cuts to the flashback of like, how did you get there? Or vice versa, he cuts back and he learns something, in his past that makes him smarter or stronger in the present.
Yeah, so that's what I want to get at. When I saw it initially, I saw it twice. So the first screening, I thought of them as flashbacks for the audience only, and only until the second viewing did I kind of grasp that maybe these are perhaps memories that he's slowly learned. Okay, and that's what it is. Okay,
The flashbacks happen when he remembers something.
got it.
about his
That's
past.
so cool.
That's cool.
And so the big moment for me was that when he finally enters Rocky's ship, that's when it clicked for me that it was memories, because it was kind of the last moment, the way the order was, right, on leading up to the ship launch, the team's launch into space. And so the final moment before they go up to space, it's Ryland kind of retreating and fleeing and feeling the cowardice of I don't want to get up, which I know is kind of jumping.
Wow,
ahead,
we're getting into it. This is the meat to me. This is the meat and potatoes. Yeah.
Okay, well, for me, the whole crux of the story is about being brave. And that moment for me really showed it for me about what it means to be brave and this character and what he went through. And it was that scene that really cemented this as an all-timer for me. I want to ask you guys maybe about that scene specifically, but what did you think about the way this story was told, going back and forth? Did it feel like it added something for you? Was there a moment that stood out going back and forth that connected in a nice way?
I'm gonna let James take. I feel like I don't want to steamroll with book stuff. I want to keep it with your guys' experience with the movie.
Yeah.
A favorite flashback.
Favorite flashback, I think probably when he and Carl like make the discovery of like, you know, I think the comedy is just so good, and I think seeing his relationship with Carl was really fun. And I don't know if everything with Sandra Hüller's character really hit for me. I think she like, I understand that she's a very stoic character and she's kind of meant to be that, but it almost, I think, confused me in that she's kind of got this isolated thing going on, and I don't know exactly, like, I didn't understand what Ryan Gosling and hers relationship was because I felt she was too isolated and like too removed.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, yeah. Because it was almost weird because it was like, did he see, you know what, maybe I think for me now, as I think about it, it was a grasp to have a relationship, like a platonic relationship, just seeking what's it called? Connection, human connection, because he was alone. He has no family ties. He doesn't even have a dog, right? The joke that was made about him. I think for him making connection, well, it was weird because I say that, but also him and Carl connected so well, like so easy. And it seemed like it was easy for him, but then at one moment it's like hard for him. He even said it, how, sorry, I just talk a lot because it's hard for me to make connection, right? And so, I don't know, maybe it's kind of conflicting.
I think there's another layer that he respects her like a lot and sees a lot of qualities in her that he doesn't have.
Oh, yeah.
The way that she is able to, she's leading countries and just a very large team of people, trying to bring these people together to fix a common goal of theirs, which is, you know,
to save the world.
Save the world. And while Ryland Grace is interested in helping with that goal too, the sacrifice that everybody else is making, he's not on that level.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not a selfless person. Right. Whereas I think I feel like that's a point of the movie that could have been shown a little bit more, is the selflessness of the people. At that very last scene you're talking about, Ryder, where it's, oh my goodness, what Strat and Grace talking, and after the scientist died and they need another one to go up to space. I feel like that's a stronger scene in the book as well, because she has a larger speech about what her sacrifice is. That's like, to me, that is the moment of the book. And he, even though she is telling him all the things that she sacrificed, potentially lifetime in prison, about the crimes that she's committing to go through this, the family that she's left behind, like these big things, and he won't go, even though he has no family, no connections, no friends. It's just his own fear. He's like, it's not worth it. I'm just not going to go. That is very powerful. And I wanted more from that scene in the movie. Cause I think that fixes what you're talking about, James, is that you didn't really feel, you're like, she didn't have her final finished arc that you kind of wanted her to have, because she's such a great character. She's so good.
I think it was two things. It was that, and like her landing, but I also feel like for Ryland Grace, it should feel that way, that he's really learning and he's really doing the thing, and he does the thing, but I don't see the learning in him. I don't.
What do you mean? What do you mean by does the thing?
There's no eureka, aha, like epiphany moment where he's like, where he's like, yeah, like, you know what, like, this is hard for me, like, and I'm really, like, I feel like for someone who is so what's the right word, like, restrained and held down and restricted and encumbered by fear and not able to rise to a task, he like rises to so many tasks and like almost too easily. I think like him going out in the like leaving the ship, like putting the suit on, like even the first time to go out to grab the thing, he's the one who like it feels like he earns that really early.
Ooh,
and maybe that's because he doesn't have his memory back, that he's like on survival mode. But like he goes out of the ship and he jumps to grab the thing that Rocky sends him. He goes in his ship and he cuts his cord loose to grab the extractor.
The fishing scene.
Yep, and the fishing scene.
Yeah, that was a brave. yeah.
You know, cool. And the whole thing is Rocky is like, "Oh, you're so brave," and he doesn't believe it. You know. And even though I'm like, you're like, I'm having a dissonance because I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
yeah, you are brave.
You are. And maybe that's like a part of the point, but something about that just doesn't land evenly to me, I guess.
I'll agree with you because, well, I mean, the line too that also hit for me was when Carl talks to him as he's being trampled by the security. You know who you are. Like, to have that complete faith in him and no remorse for the situation on his sadness in the moment. It's like, you know you are. You got this. Like, you're gonna handle this. I think everyone had that faith in him. I think he was the only one that
100%.
didn't realize his potential. And then he does 100%. It, and it's like, oh, wow. And then it kind of comes full circle maybe in his final message to Sandra Hüller, which I forget what her character's name is, but...
Strat.
What does he say to her? Like, it was kind of like a joke of, I told you so. What was that? Like, I don't know if we remember that, but was he kind of joking that she told him? But I know that when she sends off, when he sends off the pods to her, she's like, well... I gotta go back for my butt, and it's like that's the full moment of being brave. Like he finally is like, "Wow, you're gonna leave Earth for your friend," which is incredible. But
the scene of him remembering that he did not choose to go on this mission, that he was forced to go on this mission, and that he was coward, you know, and then knowing knowing everything that he does now about what this journey has entailed for him and what he's had to like go through and stuff. That is the change. That is the arc for me, is that he's willing to not go back to Earth to his comfort and instead save his friend who he met and also save his planet. That's like the most selfless thing you could possibly do, knowing that when he goes to save Rocky, he's not coming home. That is so powerful to me. It is so...
It is, but at the same time, he still doesn't have anything to go back home to. Like, I almost wish something would have changed, like during the course of the program, where he gains something, you know, that he really
doesn't. But remember, he's out in space, and he knows that this is a suicide mission because that's when he went. And then after he meets Rocky and Rocky and him come up with this plan, that because he has all this astrophage stored up in his ship as well, he tells Ryan Gosling, like, I have enough. We split it. We both go home.
Yeah.
And I think his emotion there of obviously he wants to go home even though there's nothing left. He'd probably be a hero there. He would be there's like the million things you could say of reasons why he would want to go home, but just his emotion in that scene, he didn't have to say anything. Like, it's still important to him. It's still a selfless decision in the end to go save Rocky.
Definitely. I don't know.
I hear your point, James. You make sense. It does feel,
I get what you're saying. Sorry, I'm not.
No. It like narratively and like I think there was just a feeling that I was waiting for that I never like connected to his character. It was kind of like, of course he's gonna go save like his friend that he like cares about, and that makes sense to me.
It's like there's nothing for him on Earth. What else would he go home to, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It almost felt like, duh.
He's
He's gonna go save his friend because that's who he like bonded to, and that's who he cares about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even in my mind, there wasn't a shadow of a doubt that he would have gone back to Earth. Like,
Yeah.
I think, in the event that he did have enough fuel, like, yeah, I think he would have gone back to Earth, but because of the contamination and everything, he had to go save him, which I'm like, yes, of course he's going back to save him. Like, he's going to make that happen, even though this means he's not going, there's like no shot of him going back to Earth.
I think that's interesting too, though. I'm going to keep saying in the book just because, I don't know. Again, this is such a great adaptation.
The book.
There is more time in between these events where they have to figure out if something is possible before they do it. And there's a lot of time of Rocky and Grace working together in like they play off their strengths. So like Rocky can build. That is his thing. He wears his little tool belt and like builds shit.
Yeah.
And
It's so awesome.
in the movie, they show him building stuff for himself, like in Grace's ship or like the little figurines and stuff like that. But he helps build contraptions on how they test the astrophage to make sure things aren't leaking or getting through. And that is super interesting too. So when Rocky's gone and Grace has to Rocky has gone back to his planet and Grace is going back to Earth and he figures out about the leak. He has to figure out how to do that without Rocky. Like he needs to figure that out using his own mind instead of using him and Rocky together.
Okay.
And that's fantastic too. I feel like that helps in his arc on like doing things by himself for someone else. Also, that's really good. I haven't really thought about that until you brought that. That's a good point. Sorry, I forgot how that came out.
So good.
Okay, can I thank Eva Strat now because of her, Harry Styles will be saying at all bar karaoke's for the next year to 2 years.
That's funny.
And I'm happy about that because
such a sad karaoke
sad
song.
karaoke song. Well, here's the thing. I really like this moment because I think, of course, it was a great pick from her, and I saw a little tidbit that she asked her daughter if it was like still cool to sing that song.
Oh, that's
which
cute.
Is kind of awesome.
That's really cute.
But I thought that line, how cool that you pick songs, but then the lyrics work so well that it was that line, everything will be all right, or something like that, something along those lines. Where giving
it's very on the nose,
very on the nose,
for the plot,
giving the approval to her team, and I don't know. I felt that scene was so. It seems like those that kind of make you believe the gravity of a situation in a film, and like movies. Some people may struggle to have it's hard in general to kind of connect to a film, but I think that scene for me really pulled me into live in this world and really think, wow, these people are gonna die, and this is it. This is like the end all be all. It kind of makes you think about other missions that happen in real life, like when astronauts go up in space, and you're like, wow, do they have that feeling of this could be it for me? Like the pure bravery to just do it.
I felt like she was singing to Ryland Grace. Like that's almost her trying to like comfort him, like knowing that he's like Kara said he like is not gonna want to go through with this mission, and
she already knows that he's gonna have to go.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow, yeah.
She pre-planned the whole scene, like the whole interaction with, and like she had the guys ready to go. She knew that he was gonna.
She
say
plotted
no.
the explosion. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Oh God.
Whoa.
She's like, I want no. That changes the whole story.
Whoa.
That changes everything.
Wow.
It does change.
That changes the whole character. Yeah,
I think scenes like that too make them seem like more real people. It's just weird enough where it's like believable that she would, this no emotion leader of this would like do this on the day before the mission start. It's like, oh really? Like that's such for the movie. But then I don't know, in the moment you're like, yeah, she's a real person. She probably does have feelings about this. And I don't know. There's a lot of camaraderie here. Yeah. I liked it a lot. It was great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That whole sequence was really good.
This is a little bit side topic. Did either of you guys watch Anatomy of a Fall?
Yeah.
Oh, I did. Yeah. Remember that Oscar season?
What a great film!
She's great in that one.
She's so good.
She
in it.
killed that.
That's the first time I saw her.
Yeah.
Me too.
Really good film.
Good stuff.
Okay, who put this little anecdote about the cinematography? Because
Can we talk about that a little bit?
Talk about it.
There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we can get into. I have something about costuming.
When you say please talk about it, I want to hear what you have to say.
What was that?
This could be good or bad. I don't really know.
Can we please talk about it? It's so fucking gorgeous, man.
Oh, okay.
Such a pretty movie. And just like so much, there's so many cool things about like the most beautiful like moment in the film, I think is, well, I think there's two, I think standings. The first one is them looking at Adrian, the planet, and I think the planet just looks fucking great. Second one is of him collecting the astrophage, and it's the infrared light. And I learned that it was practical. It was like,
No way.
It was like they had a fishing line, and they had all these little things like on it, and then they actually turned on infrared light, and it caused them all to shine like that.
Oh, that's so sick.
Yeah,
It's
that's
so
awesome.
fucking cool.
They were like,
Yeah, that was an incredible moment.
yeah, because Ryan Gosling, you can't see infrared, obviously. So Ryan Gosling's pretending, and they're looking in the monitor, and they see it all. They see it like we see it. All the red.
Oh,
right?
that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And he goes,
What a great way to do that.
Yeah. Having
Yeah.
a moment, man. Let me be.
What a great way to do that, to show like him, what he sees versus like what's all around him. Like, that's awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Only for, once again, Rocky to prove as one of my new favorite characters. What? So boring. It looks boring. Whatever. I love his attitude and everything. Just like, what? The planet looks boring. I see it. Whatever. And he's just on his little computer, just like looking down.
It's
so good.
fun.
I love he asks a question and then says question
Question.
afterwards.
Yeah, that was good.
That has become
Statement.
mainstay
Question.
vocabulary over the last few months.
Start using that
I would say.
in the work team
Question.
chat. Hey guys,
Yeah.
how are we on this 5 a.m. question? No, I'm kidding.
Or bad. That
Bad,
one
bad, bad,
also
bad.
has stayed in the vocabulary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's
there
maze.
for good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maze.
Here's
I need to
Go
ask you a
ahead.
question about Rocky.
Yeah.
Do we think he was actually gonna die?
I did 100%.
I thought he was gonna die.
And
I can't speak on this.
here's
'cause
what I
obviously-
told Vince, because we saw it, and I was
Yeah,
like,
you knew.
I think it's so movies.
Well, when you
these-
read the book, sorry, Ryder, keep
yeah.
going. But I just want to.
Oh yeah, did you think he was gonna die when you were reading?
When it happened in the book, I thought he really died.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because
bummer.
at that point, the movie feels like it's in its final swing, and that
Yeah.
fishing
That's it.
sequence kind of feels like the climax of the movie. Like
They
or
did
the
such a
climax
good
the
job
book.
of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I totally agree. It's that scene in particular way better in the movie than in the book.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
book, it's very hard to visualize what they're doing,
yeah.
and it's so cool.
Strobes, like the strobe
it's
light.
awesome.
Oh, so
And then
cool.
when it
there's
opens up,
Dude, it's awesome.
because again, you're thinking, here's what I thought. Just like when you actually go fishing, you throw that line out, and if you're in a boat moving, what if
you
it
get
gets
it.
caught on something? I was like, I thought I saw a mountain on that planet, and I was like, oh my god, they're gonna get caught.
you might have.
So
Yeah.
that was freaking me out. But here's why I thought I think it's easy now to write, and they die, and then the movie ends, and you're like, oh, the movie was great, but so and so died, they sacrificed themselves. I think the harder way to write it is how do they make it out of this, but how do you make it a good ending where it's not cliche?
This
right?
is so much of a better ending.
It's so much
than
a better
Rocky
ending
dying.
to make it out of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But I tell you, I was feeling rough, dude. As soon as he was hitting the glass,
Oh,
tears. I was like,
man.
sacrifice himself for his
Rocky, no!
Yeah.
There's another way.
There's another way. He'll hit the
So
button.
good.
Oh, it was rough.
Wow.
I love it though.
To circle back to the film stuff,
Yeah, sorry.
real quick, the cinematography of it all. Greg Fraser, one of our greatest working cinematographers right now. Okay, Dune 1 and 2,
Yeah,
Batman, endless bangers. He will not be doing Dune 3 because he did this movie, and I was very concerned about that. But I think I'm very happy that he did this movie. He already did the Lifetime Achievement Awards with Dune 1 and 2, so we're
right.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so anamorphic lenses. What do you guys know about them?
Nothing. Fucking nothing.
All I know about anamorphic is from La La Land, and I experimented in high school a little bit with buying cheap anamorphic lenses. I know that they make
Beautiful.
They make light look good, and they make things super wide. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, so when you film in an anamorphic lens, it is squeezed up on the side. So you film it in like a square, but everything in the square is squeezed.
Almost
and then
like
when
a fisheye?
No, it's distorted. Like
Opposite. It's like literally
You're
distorted. Like my
filming
head would be a
squished.
little bit taller
Yeah.
if I'm filming squish.
and you have to
like that.
fix it.
So
in
in
post.
editing, they pull it out, and it becomes a longer image, a much wider in the terms of left to right, not
Yeah.
bendy. I know when you say wide in film, usually it's like a distortion wide, but this is a long look.
Yeah.
This movie was filmed with new lenses from Ari, I believe. I think Ari. They released the whole thing, and it has a vertical squeeze. So it was actually shot as like a thin rectangle instead of a square, and then you stretch it out vertically, which creates. It's a non-IMAX. They didn't shoot it on IMAX cameras, but that allowed them to get that extra length for an IMAX screen, and then also all of the light leaks, like the light flares, that kind of stuff, are all vertical in this movie. They're not horizontal like regular.
Right.
That's really cool.
And it's like this interesting. That's like something that as I'm watching, I don't realize it, and then you look at stills afterwards, and you're like, wow, that just gives it its own little unique sauce to it that I don't know, I wouldn't have picked up. It's really cool. So next time I watch it, I'm definitely gonna check that out because, I kind of wish I knew that before watching the movie.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Now another thing behind. Oh, you go, Eugene. What do you got, James?
I want to talk about just one more scene. I forget what was actually happening on screen, but there's a moment where they almost like there's like a screen door effect sort of situation.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's one shot and it stays for a long time.
Yes.
Like way too long almost, but it's so cool.
But it's so fucking cool. I'm just looking at the screen door. I think it's when the contaminant like was in the ship or something. I just remember there was
I think
red
it's when
light.
he realizes he's fucked. Yeah.
Yeah, it's when he realizes, and it's like I just was looking at this effect. I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck this is, but this is awesome.
What are you talking about? Wait,
I'm
which
so
one?
glad you brought this up. It's just one shot, and I can't really describe it besides it's Ryland. It's like a
red.
side shot of Ryland's face. It's red. He's kind of looking down, but it's behind. He's obscured by some sort of screen with holes in it, and it looks like it's zoomed in on like a LCD panel. So I'm thinking it's probably like that weird view room that they have where it's like a full circle of they can play whatever they want. Like they show him and Rocky in New York City and on the beach and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think they're like filming through one of those screens that's like semi-transparent.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's
What a
so
shot.
cool.
I'm so glad you brought
And
that
also
up.
everything in Rocky's ship, like the light refracting off of Ryland's like cool suit, like it's got the kind of prismatic sort of rainbow thing going on. It's just fucking sick.
Hey, speaking of prismatic, for my gamers out there, Rocky's ball also looked like a gem that you can get in Destiny 2. One of those prismatic cells.
It's like
It looks like an exotic,
an exotic
engram.
engram. Thanks.
But clear, a
common engram. Another favorite shot was when I think they're doing the test flights. They shoot Ryan Gosling through Rocky's ball, and because it's like glass, like it's all kind of distorted. And I was like, wow, we're shooting through his ball, but it looked cool. It was it was just like a 2-second thing, and I was like, wow, you're shooting through. And it was like blurry kind of.
pretty sweet.
I mean, there were so many creative techniques that they can just messing around with.
It's cool random shit.
Lighting and stuff.
Like, some really cool, like, not invisible, but not, like, visible editing, I guess. It's just, like, camera work.
And it's pretty interesting when, most of this movie is in a ship or a hallway. And they've made it interesting the entire time.
Dude, it was, like, he spent hundreds of hours just alone in this, like, ship. Like, and they just built it. And he's just spending so much time in there alone. Okay, so I was talking about improv earlier, right? I want to bring this up. This is like my last like thing I know about how this movie was made. So they had earpieces. So the puppeteer for Rocky and Ryan Gosling both had earpieces, and so did Sandra Hüller. They all had earpieces, and they had people from behind the camera give out like prompts or like options for them to do to improv. So one of the examples was when Ryan Gosling gives Rocky the tape measure. There's a guy in James Ortiz's ear going, okay, just start fucking up, like fucking with the with the tape measure, and just keep, like, he's gonna tell you to stop, but just keep going, like just keep doing, like, don't listen to him at all. And then someone's on the other side going, Ryan Gosling, he's really gonna start fucking with that, like, tape measure. You got to try to roll it in, like,
right,
you know. And he's just riffing, like, there's so much of this movie is
so
just fucking riffing. And I think there's so, like, it just comes through so good. And I think it really speaks volumes to, like, James Ortiz 100% as, like, to be able to be a improvisational puppeteer and to do all these things and to do all the vocalizations and, you know, all that.
Not just that, but also being like,
also he's the voice.
He's the voice, but like, it's very true to Rocky's character. It's nothing. He doesn't say anything that's like, his improv's not a different character saying something as Rocky.
No.
It's very consistent as Rocky, and that's cool. That's great.
Oh, like another favorite that I saw, I don't think we have it on here, but that Ryan Gosling in another video I saw was like his favorite line was Rocky hate Mark, because that Ryan Gosling
that was good.
had worked with someone named Mark for about 10 years.
That's so funny.
And he was riffing about, you know, I had this girl and now she's with Mark, and then Rocky hate Mark.
Rocky hate Mark.
Now it's just a little homage to his buddy. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah, that was really funny.
Hilarious.
But yeah,
gosh, can we talk a little bit about the ending?
Let's talk about the ending. What about it, Vin?
Yeah.
So Grace goes back to help. We talked about, you know, the scene with him and Strat. He makes the decision to go back and help Rocky get to Rocky's planet and save Rocky's planet, because he sends back his drones. The drones have not only the astrophage, but the Talmeba, which is Tau City and amoeba together, which is the predator of astrophage.
Yeah.
Lot going on there.
Yeah.
He sends that all back to
You're
Earth,
doing great, Vin.
goes to Rocky, and him and Rocky, you know, Rocky's so happy to see him, which is the best, man. That just makes my heart flutter. Dude, it's just the best. It doesn't get better than that.
Fist my bump.
Oh, man.
They're like, fist my bump. They're giving hugs.
Fist my
They're
bump.
doing all kinds of good stuff.
Oh, it's so great. And then after they solve the problem very quickly on Rocky's ship, it kind of cuts, and we get a little time jump to the ending here, which there's already felt like 4 fake out endings of this movie a little bit. Like, you know, somebody dies or somebody, you know, or it seems like Rocky's going to die. Then it seems like something's fixed and then not fixed, all that. So at this point I'm like, okay, yeah, we got to get there. We got to get to the ending now. It's going to be great. So it cuts and we get a scene that is not in the book. And that is the fact that in the book, you never know if the drones make it to Earth.
Oh, really?
You never know if it's a successful mission. And the only mention of it is when Ryland Grace is on. Okay, first of all, did you guys... I want to hear about this. I want to hear about your guys' thoughts on Ryland waking up. And, you know, well, I'll talk about that part after. I want to hear your guys' first... kind of reaction to Ryland waking up after, like, finding out that where he is and all that kind of stuff.
Well, when I first saw him wake up, I thought, oh my gosh, they brought Rocky to Mars. How nice is that? I mean, Rocky to Earth. Sorry, Rocky to Mars. They brought Rocky to Earth. How cool. He got back and it's happy ending. But then when I started realizing that I saw the dome, I mean, they delivered it pretty much in a bomb that he was on another planet. I was shocked and I was like, how... They could just do this for this guy? They could make a dome for him? I didn't think they were that intelligent where they have scientists working on his ship to get back home.
You saw the ship.
I was shocked. Yeah, that's true. I was surprised. What do you think?
I was like, I was trying to like put it together in my head because I saw the, like, I noticed that the building was kind of like in this Adobe.
Domey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like domey. I'm like, this isn't like... I'm like, I don't think this is Earth, and you know, and so it kind of, I'm like, is he like? But he doesn't have a suit on. But Rocky has a suit on, and then I'm like, he's talking about the temperature of the water, you know, and he's like, it's too hot, man. Like, what don't you guys see? And I was like, oh, so he's definitely on, he's definitely on their planet, but like, he can survive on his own planet, can he? And then it pulled back and it was a dome. And then it was like,
So good,
they're making modifications to the
And
water temperature. Yeah. I
He
was like,
understood
cool.
his
I
language
was like,
too.
fuck. And I said, fuck yeah. That was the thing too. He
Like,
started
what?
talking to him without a translator. I was like, he
Yeah.
learned his language.
I was like, how long
He
has it
learned his
been?
language.
Fully.
How long
That's
has it
fucking
been?
awesome. And not only that, they learned, well, I guess Rocky knew what he was saying the whole time.
Yeah, Rocky knew what he was saying, right? Pretty much.
Rocky
Rocky learned his language like immediate, like very quickly.
very quickly.
after they're going
because
through that.
Rocky's he's fucking him.
But they show that process of like him of Grace plays Rocky's sound or whatever, and then immediately plays the English thing back, like, and he goes back and forth.
Oh,
on that a couple
yeah.
times.
Yeah.
And I think Rocky's just able to like pick it up.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
so this ending, it was this close to being goofy. I'll say it. It was like so close. It didn't, but I was almost like, wait a second. I don't know. It wasn't that he was on his planet, because it was a nice moment when they were on the makeshift beach, but it was I don't know. I think it's when they zoomed out to the planet and it almost looked like he was like in paradise. I was like, what? It was like almost goofy, but it didn't hit there. It was very sentimental and a nice touching moment. But I was like, oh God. As soon as we hit
I
the
wanted to
last
I wanted
moment,
to see
was like,
more. I wanted to see more
Yeah.
of like, I don't know if like it explains anything else in the book or whatever, but I just wanted to see more of that world, I guess.
It's so brief, just like this, and I think that's purposeful.
Yeah.
It ends exactly the same. With,
Same line too, right?
with Grace pulling up to the class and asking the class a question, and it ends
It's
like exactly
who
the same.
knows what
speed
who
of
knows
light.
what
Speed of light.
what's the speed of light. Yeah.
But there's no. The only mention is okay when they're on the beach, like walking to the classroom. Rocky mentions that it's in the book. He mentions that this day would be the day that the drones would make it back to Earth.
Oh, that's cool.
That's the only mention of it. You don't know if the drones actually made it back or if
this would have
Earth
been
is
the day.
fixed.
Would have been the day.
This would have been the day.
And we're
so
like, who
it-
knows? Yeah, who knows?
but
Who got there?
Grace kind of like, I don't know. They don't have a conversation about it. Rocky says it in passing, and Grace keeps going to the thing. But Rocky also says that they're almost complete on making a ship that is able to go back.
Okay.
But you also don't know if he's going to do that or not. Like if that is something that he's going to take them up on. And I don't in the movie. I think it does the same thing where
I
you
think so,
don't
too.
really know if that's the case.
Don't think
But
about it.
yeah, did you guys like the scene where it showed that the drones were back? I thought it was kind of cool to show the Earth cooled down.
I'm definitely an optimist in that way because it shows them.
Okay,
she
yeah.
says time to get to work, and it's like it's been long enough.
I like when she does this.
Yeah, she does it back to
Yeah.
him. She's like, "I'll
does it
see you.
back.
I'll see you again, buddy." Like she's older. We know time has passed. Earth is probably already freezing over. Like who knows how far gone planet Earth is? But they're just like, "Hey,
I think she was just
time
in
to
the
get to work."
Arctic.
Really? I thought
She could have been, but I think that's the idea. Is that how cool the Earth got over the
They
last
said
30
10 to
years,
15
or 50
degrees.
years.
Shit.
that they were in the
Oh,
Pacific, bro. They were in Hawaii, and it was freezing.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Were they in the Pacific?
No, I mean I'm just imagining.
Oh,
That's what
damn.
They were off the coast of Japan, right? That's where their base was.
Oh, shit.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And so if they're still there, that's colder than it should be for sure.
Definitely. Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah. Because it's funny, the whole time you're watching it, like I'm imagining these tapes going back and like how Strat is going to react to them. So in a way, I think the scene is cool because it's like exactly what I want in my head. I want her to see these. I want her to know that
there's an
he
alien.
met this other species in another like galaxy. Oh, it's like so cool.
I know, right?
But the mystery's gone of that. Like, okay, it did happen.
Yeah.
That did happen.
But I don't think it does a lot to have the mystery standing.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was one, I would say that's a major difference. from
Okay,
the book.
that's cool. I want to talk about one thing because my favorite part about this, another favorite part, I mean, there's so many great things, was the costume design. And it's the same designers who did Rogue One. And so a little fun fact that I wanted to draw for y'all was, well, one, before I get into my tidbit, the red spacesuit, I thought stood out and was so beautiful on screen. I love that they chose red. Do we have any thoughts about the spacesuit?
I loved it.
do you
I
think?
loved it. Thought it was super cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's a cool poster.
I don't have any like, crazy thoughts. I did like how bubbly it was. They didn't try to go with like a super modern, edgy
right.
spacesuit. It looked
Like a real nasty
like a
thing, yeah.
classic kind of
realistic
look.
in that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we know Ryan Gosling style icon that he is. He had this sweater throughout the film as a school teacher. Wait, what's the old god? Is that like a no?
No, sorry. No. It's like it's so good. I love he really had that shit on. It's so good.
Dude.
Are you talking about like the quarter zip thing with like the neck?
Yeah, it was a white vintage sweater with the 2 foxes on it. And he's like talking.
You really liked those foxes.
I really like these foxes. So I looked up what this was because apparently it's a vintage Canadian sweater from the brand Mary Maxim. Apparently they had this sweat, and it had embroidery. It had 2 wolves on it. And the costume designers were like, oh, this is good, but I don't know if it's going to work because he's a school teacher. And they look a little too intense. So they literally recrocheted it to be 2 nice foxes. And that's
hilarious.
Another reason why is because Ryan Gosling in London, he noticed the fox population there, and he was like, "Oh, let's change it to be foxes and make them more cartoony." So they did.
What were they before they were foxes?
Wait. What do you mean in London? Did they film it in London or something? Or does he just have some sort of affiliation with the foxes in London?
The information I've seen is that when he was in London, whether he lived in London or I don't know.
When he was in London, whatever.
He was like,
yeah,
hey, the fox population there is like, there's a lot of foxes here. Use foxes on the sweater. Funny. They got approval for it. They redid it, and now he has that iconic sweater that I will most definitely be buying and hopefully wearing soon.
Very cool. I see a cosplay in your future.
Yeah. I'm really into this yellow jacket.
Oh, I know.
The rain jacket is sick.
I leaned over to Regine and I said, yellow rain jacket sales are about to be way up. We're gonna.
But also, that's like the color of this movie. Like the coloration when they're on the base outside, everything's all gray and sad and dreary, and he's wearing this yellow rain jacket, and I'm like, this rocks. It looks so good.
That's true.
Oh,
that's my tidbit. I love costume design, and because I love looking at pieces and seeing can I get the exact one from the screen used, and I love when costume designers are like, yeah, you can actually own what's in the film. It's real. Like it's not like
that is cool.
Intangible.
Also, can we talk about his coy little glasses? His coy, the way he always had them.
You like, boys, boy.
How did those stay on his head? Like, how did that happen?
I'm seeing so many people are doing it like that. They're just like he's just doing things.
Yeah, like
he's just rocking on it.
I don't know if I can do it, guys. I'm like he did this thing like 4 times in the movie, and I'm like, you sexy bastard, Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, only him.
Only him. God, he looks.
I think
great.
he nailed this. He nailed his character. I know he was kind of playing himself a little bit. Like I've seen him. It wasn't necessarily anything super new to him, but I think he killed it. He did so good.
Do you think it's consistent with Ryland Grace in the book? Do you think the level of humor and the level? Okay, so okay.
I didn't know if he was casted at the time that No, he must have been cast by the time I read it.
Oh yeah, okay.
But great.
Okay,
I think he's perfect.
Yeah. If I have anything final to say about this film is that watching Ryan Gosling, I saw it twice and 1000% completely enamored by his physicality, his improv, his charisma on screen. I'm excited for what he does in Star Wars. And I've always loved Ryan Gosling in the past films that I've seen him in. Haven't seen all of them, but I've seen a lot. And he's just one of those guys that he's a star, and you're glued to the screen. Yeah, he's a movie star, and you're glued to the screen. Love him.
I want to.
Are we worried about Starfighter?
I'm worried about Starfighter.
Keep going, James. Keep going.
I'm worried about Starfighter, but I want to put a pin in Starfighter just for a sec, or maybe we can. Because I want to.
We can. Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Starfighter pin.
We could put a pin in this, or we could put a pin in Starfighter, and that is like
Starfighter.
We'll pick one.
We'll pick one.
I want to ask the question of: do we think Ryan Gosling will be nominated for Best Actor for this film?
Wow.
And I see, because this is my question, right? Like Ryan Gosling, I think is a great actor, but I think he also just always plays some version of himself, and I think his characters are they're not flat, but it's samey a lot of the time, and it doesn't have like the same like maybe range like other best picture actor, or sorry, not best picture, best actors do. So like, I want to ask that question and see what you guys think. Does he have this sort of chops in this film to be a best actor nominee?
Not for the Oscars, but Critics' Choice and Golden Globes. Definitely a nom. But I don't think an Oscar nomination, no.
I think it's too early to say for all that, but I think that he does.
I think that's bullshit.
What?
I think it's too early. I think that's bullshit because I think when we saw, like, same time last year when we saw Timothée Chalamet in Dune, or is that 2 years ago? When we saw Timothée Chalamet in Dune, we were like, oh, that shit was crazy.
Okay.
Even though I don't think Timothée Chalamet was actually, I don't think he was actually was he nominated for Paul Atreides in Dune Part 2?
I don't know. I think this is a great performance. I'm not ready to say it's a best performance ever. I've seen Ryan Gosling have better performances.
Ryan Gosling's had better. Yeah.
What do you think is I want to like
have you seen Lars and the Real Girl?
Blue Valentine.
No. All right, so Lars and the Real Girl, Ryan Gosling, he's kind of mentally not all the way there. And he is in love with a sex doll.
Yeah, that was
and he's super depressed, but also heartwarming, and everything about it is pretty great. I think it's one of his best.
Yeah.
That, and then
The Place Beyond the Pines, dude. He was great in that one.
Place Beyond the Pines is so good, but unfortunately, Place Beyond the Pines, Blade Runner, Notebook, La La Land. He's the same character in all those things. Just the rom-coms have a little bit more, and Crazy Stupid Love. Those have a little bit more fun playfulness in it, but it's the same cool, collected character. I think that's what I'm worried about Starfighter, is that he either falls back into that, like the really cool Starfighter guy, or he's the exact same character that he was in
I'll eat that up, dude.
I don't know.
He'd be like, is that a lightsaber tied to your belt? Is that a lightsaber on your belt right now? Well, let's go. I know, that's exactly how.
That was good, Ryder. That was good. I like it.
I gotta master my impression. I don't know how he does the voice.
And it's gonna go.
He will scream for sure.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling. I'll cosplay. If he has a cool outfit for Starfighter, I'm getting that cosplay going.
Sure he will.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know what's more important than story for Disney? Merchability, baby.
It's all about the money.
I'm buying those ships and I'm buying those costumes.
That's why the Mandalorian's still wearing his damn outfit. Anyways. Final thoughts on Project Hail Mary is that I absolutely loved it. I think we might have talked about some things, like, I don't want to come off as negative towards this movie. I loved it so much. It is, I don't know what I liked more this year so far, Nirvana the band, the show, the movie, or Project Hail Mary, but they are neck and neck as some of the best
completely
movies
different
this
films,
year.
but both so incredible.
So good.
Yeah, really great. What a wild ride. I feel like I said most of the things at the beginning of this, but it's just kind of like a once, like that first watch I know is like, there's nothing, I could watch this movie so many times and it would still be enjoyable, but at the same time, I'm like, the first time is so special.
I think we asked at the beginning of this if this is going to be like a sci-fi tent pole.
That's right.
I say yes. Because of how good it was as an adaptation, a lot of the book readers out there will stand by that. And I think also as a sci-fi film on its own, it'll stand by it because it's a optimistic, hopeful, positive film that all ages can watch. It's not just a, high. What did you say, James?
Highbrow.
The word of like highbrow. Yes, that's a good way to put it. There are highbrow films and they have their place, and I love them. But this, I feel like it's one of those that's everyone.
It's a blockbuster.
It's a blockbuster.
It is a blockbuster.
It's a blockbuster.
It's a blockbuster. It's a really good blockbuster.
I love a spastic little creature.
It's a damn good one.
Yeah.
So I saw it with Ryder, which is epic because we never get to see movies together.
It's true.
But before I got into the theater, and this really old, very frail, small lady walks up to me.
That was my mom, bro. Don't talk about her like that.
No, it was not Val. I love Val. I would never disrespect Val like that.
That's crazy.
This lady comes over and she grabs Allie and I's arms. She's like, "Are you guys gonna see Project Hail Mary?" We were like, "Yeah." She's like, "It was so beautiful." And I was like, "Oh my god!" Well, I would never have expected that this would have appealed to her at all from like the trailer. But she obviously loved it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought that was sweet. That
love
kind of
that.
goes to show it has a very wide appeal.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. And that goes to show, like, you can, this is like a family movie as well, I think. Like,
It is.
you can, it appeals to, I think, any audience you could throw at it.
I think this will be talked about in sci-fi movies. I don't know. Tentpole seems like a crazy word to
big.
put in there, but I think I'm willing to say that this will be a long remembered sci-fi film.
Yeah.
And I think when we see future sci-fi films, this will be in the conversation of like, it takes a lot of inspiration from Project Hail Mary, like that type of effect on the genre.
Definitely. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much.
It's good to be back.
It's good to
That was
be
really
back.
fun, guys.
It's gonna be
You
back.
feel
It's been a long
good?
time. Someone got married while we were away.
Woo!
Which was so
For our
epic.
audio
We got to have a
listeners,
reunion.
it was Vincent. He flashed his
Everyone
ring.
wish Vincent congratulations. It's
Yeah.
been a minute,
Thanks,
but
guys.
Yeah.
We got to all be together for the first time in a long time. It
Like
was
5
awesome.
years.
We have photos together.
Yeah.
It was a
It was so
beautiful
cool.
moment.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for this moment. Guys, thank you for this moment. For getting to talk about a film that we all love. And we got to learn from each other. We got to explore opinions and thoughts with each other. And got to experience the beautiful thing that happens not when we just watch movies, but when we come together and we talk about them and we learn together. And you can join in that process by joining our Discord, by dropping a comment. Guys, this is a wonderful community that we've been building for many years, and we're all about just bringing you in and welcoming you into the conversation.
so good. I was
Was that a little
thinking
too
beautiful.
fireside?
Yeah, I'm like,
No, that
"Hey,
was
guys."
it's like the end of a Reading Rainbow episode. You know? Oh, it's great.
It's like
Yeah,
Steve
thank
from
you.
Blue's Clues is ready to tell us about our day and everything's gonna be okay.
yeah, everything's gonna be fine.
Everything
Fine,
is
we'll
gonna
watch
be
movies.
okay, because this is I think a big part of this movie too. Is it's like it's all about hope. Like, you
Yeah.
are brave. Like,
It is.
believe in yourself. Like, you can do it when the rubber meets the road. You know, at the end of the day, you just gotta believe in yourself and trust the ability, and that there are people out there who believe in you, even if you don't believe in yourself.
Well, that's
There's no topping
no
that.
topping
No,
that.
there's
Yeah,
no
that's great.
topping that. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out and listening with us. We appreciate you all, and we'll see you on the next one.
bye, everybody.